Where would you rather be? On the shore, looking out to sea, or on a boat, looking towards the shore? Okay, so this is going to be my 5th video, and I'm walking through one of the local parks in Plymouth. I'm on my way to the Barbican. I'm going to catch a ferry here, and this is my favourite local park. We've got Central Park, but this is called Beaumont Park. I love it because it's just quite small and enclosed, and it's full of trees, and I do love a tree. And I've also got a straw hat on today, and you may notice that I wear a lot of hats, and I'm trialing everything right down to what's the best hat to wear in the summer. I do like a straw hat, but if you've got any comments on hats that would be good to wear, or that you'd like to see, or you like the ones that I've already worn in previous videos, then please do let me know. And today it's a short journey. It's probably the last sunny day of the next fortnight or so. The weather forecast is absolutely bloody terrible, and I'm walking to Haybrook Bay and Wembury. It's quite a short walk. It's like 6 or 7 miles. I may go there and back. So this is the world famous Barbican on Plymouth. This is where many of the major adventures started from the UK. They left from the shores here, including the Mayflower. We're going to go and have a look at the Mayflower steps in a minute. So also on the Barbican, and this is what it's particularly famous for, are these cobbled roads. In fact, it's the largest network of original cobbles in the whole of the UK, and bit by bit they are disappearing. I'm sure York might have something to say. York's got a lot of cobbles on their streets, but apparently these are the original cobbles that were laid. Yeah, once upon a time, all this here was all cobbled as well, and it's been tarmacked over. I don't know why, because these cobbles seem to last for absolutely forever. So you can see here that some of the cobbles on this part still remain, but over there they've been taken away, and the Barbican now is sort of a fancy sort of shopping areas, lots of nice cafes and bars. It's pretty hectic down here on a Saturday night. Don't come down here at 11 o'clock if you don't want to get chinned. There's like pasty shops and art shops, and yeah, there's a gallery selling all their tat. That's not too bad. All sorts. I'm at the Mayflower steps. This is where the Mayflower left in 1620, or we're told this is where the Mayflower left in 1620, settled at Plymouth in New England, and that's where you find the Plymouth Rock. Little note about the Plymouth Rock: sea level's never changed. It's at sea level, never changed. Weird. Never changed here either. I've lived here all my life. 46 years old, just about, I've lived in Plymouth. Sea levels never changed. But also, from here, we've got the 1620, we've got the Mayflower left with the Pilgrims. Well, Humphrey Gilbert, father, here we go, woo, father of colonisation. He founded Newfoundland, which, if I'm right, is now Canada. Home to Trudeau. Colonisation bad, Trudeau good. Pioneer ship, the Tory left to colonise New Zealand. So colonisation bad, Jacinda Ardern good. But this one's quite interesting. This tablet was erected by the Plymouth Borough Council to commemorate the arrival on the 31st day of May 1990 of the American seaplane NC-4 in Plymouth Sound, on the completion of the first transatlantic flight, and the reception by the mayor of Plymouth and the commander, pilots and crew on their landing at the Barbican. So the first transatlantic flight, seaplane, landed here. The more you know. But finally, and I've mentioned sea level, and I've mentioned that this may not be where the Mayflower left, because I'm just walking up here on the Barbican to a pub called the Admiral McBride, which back in my day I knew very well. But apparently in the ladies' toilets in there is where the original steps are, which is a much higher up, and it makes you question. These steps were apparently, and this part of the Barbican that I'm standing on was built up in the 1800s, and wasn't here originally, and so you have to question, was the sea level higher then and it's actually been going down? Who knows? The Admiral McBride apparently is the official home of the Mayflower Steps, not the tourist attraction that we've got there behind me. Last time I walked along here, along this path, was 2019, summertime. I was getting ready for Brexit. I was walking along here with a girl called Katie, who I was dating, and fuck, I loved her dearly. But the vaccine and the COVID narrative of 2020 going on to now destroyed that relationship. Yeah, I hope she's alright. So this is Plymouth from Mountbatten, and you can see that Plymouth is actually quite a magnificent city. It's Drake's Island. I want to own that someday. Some warship there. I don't know if it's ours or NATO. A lot of NATO ships. Not when I worked in a dockyard, but there are now. When I worked in a dockyard, a Russian ship turned up. This is after this was in the 90s. My dad went aboard. He said it was the right mess, and that they were fucking all starving and eating absolute crap. How times have changed, eh? Behind me is Bovey Sands Beach, #1. Many a summer have I spent on this beach as a kid, and somewhere in the background, I can't quite remember exactly where it is, but somewhere in the background there is a place where I used to go tombstone. And I thought it used to be fucking massively high back then. I wonder what it looks like now. So that's where I'm headed, to a tombstone spot that I used to jump off as a 14, 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid back in the 90s, in the mid-90s. Well, it'd been about 93, back when the world was a fairly sane, normal and understandable place. So this bank here is all eroded away, it's all washed away there. You can see there, down there, switch camera out, all down there has been washed away. But that used to be built out, this bit used to be built out, and used to be able to jump straight off there, and you had to clear some rocks on the other side. Now when I look from that side of the bank over there and look across, it actually doesn't look that high, it only looks about 5-6 meters. But we used to come here every day in the summer, and up there, whereas there's a shop up there. We used to call it the 5-finger discount shop, because all the kids used to just rob it blind back in the day. Yeah, Bovey Sands was one of my most favourite beaches, one of my favourite places ever as a kid. And in the background there's about 4 different beaches you can pick from, and my favourite was #3. I had a complaint about one of my videos, which is interesting. I got called a sexist because I said women talk a lot of crap, or women talk a lot of shit. I can't remember what I said. And I was referring to my friend Sarah, who's a friend. You know, she's on the funny side. She knows I'm joking. So I thought I'd add some balance and say I talk a lot of shit too. Yeah, I'm talking shit on camera right now. And guess what? Most men talk a lot of shit too. In fact, some women marry men who talk shit, and vice versa. Yeah, or we elect them and make them our prime minister. Or we don't elect them and they end up prime minister anyway. Yeah, everyone talks a lot of shit. Yeah, it's true. No big deal. Yeah, it's no big deal. Anyway, I thought I'd say that just so I could say I've got some balance in case it's used against me in the future. You can cut this one and say, oh, he also said men talk a lot of shit. Yeah, because it's true. And I'm not going to restrict my freedom of speech on these videos. It's an amazing little thing, isn't it? Anyone want to tell me what that beat was called? Stick it in the comments. Spent, in the first 30 years of my life being, a boy or a bloke associated with the Navy. All my family were Navy. I grew up with the Navy. I grew up in Plymouth. It was a Navy town. And I worked in a dockyard for 15 years. I was a nuclear spares specialist. I was a first level buyer for nuclear submarines. But I also worked on frigates like that. And from here, I can't be certain. Look, UK, Navy, Royal Navy. And by the colour of that one that's in there, the distance there, I suspect that's a foreign Navy, which is why it's just floating around in the Plymouth Sound, Plymouth being in the distance there. I'm coming to the end of my walk now, and there is the open seas. This is Haybrook, it's a little village, and actually the area of the map that I'm walking right now, Plymstock, Goosewell, Haybrook, Wembury, where I'm headed. This is where I grew up as a kid. Well, it's like my first home, I suppose. It's not my spiritual home, which is the Quantocks, and Dartmoor and places like that. Where would you rather be? On the shore, looking out to sea, or on a boat, looking towards the shore? So I'm in a place called Stadiscombe. I actually used to live here. Obviously not here, not quite here. This is the original Stadiscombe, which was once like a little hamlet or village, and quite wealthy. And we're about to walk past a bus stop, and here, I don't want to say what the number of the house is, but that used to be, I'm pretty sure, unless it's just down here, at the old post office, where I used to do a paper round. And it was a great paper round, because it would take about half an hour, and you'd have about 20 odd papers just down there, and I used to pay 20 quid a week. This is in the 90s, 93, 94, 20 quid a week for a 14-year-old kid back then. Yeah, so I was absolutely loving it, minted I was. The other paper rounds, they only used to do pay a fiver. This is the estate that I used to live on in the 90s, just down the road from all those nice houses. Stadiscombe's the area. There's the corner shop, what's called now, and we used to all hang out behind that, harass the patrons of the shop as kids. Down from Stadiscombe to a place called Goosewell, where I grew up. So this part of the videos, or the second part. I'm gonna make this the second part, put it in the thread. It's a bit personal. I did plan it. I thought I'd go and check these places out, but I'm full of energy. Why? I think it's because for the last 3 months I have been eating primarily meat, lots of it, eggs, spinach and green veg, and hardly any carbs. Last night I had a 16-ounce steak, 3 eggs, 2 chicken wings, 2 chicken thighs, and a bag of spinach. And this morning I haven't hardly eaten anything. So a carnivore diet. Not only that, because I've been out practicing, finding all of this, now starting to get relatively easy. So I thought I'd put a word in for the carnivore diet, which is definitely the best diet that I've encountered, and the tastiest. Yeah, animals, and there's nothing that tastes better than animals, or things like eggs and cheese and milk and all these things that they tell us that are bad. So this road is called Stoke-on-Way Close, and I feel very, very emotional, very emotional. It's a married quarters, Plymstock, and I first came in when I was about 4 or 5 years old. Before that, everything's a blur in my life. It's a bit traumatic, as they would say, and I lived here with my dad. In fact, I'm at my best friend's old house. One side's Navy, one side's RAF. There's some woodland coming up, which brings a smile to my face, because as an 8-year-old boy, younger than that even, we used to run off into the woods. You can get to the beaches and stuff that I've just walked past through the woods, and we used to do that. And obviously I wasn't allowed to leave the street at that age, but you know, fuck the parents, that's what we used to do. But now, walking through here, some of it looks in a bit of disrepair. I know they've built now, it used to be a social club up there that we all used to go to, families all together. I knew everybody in this street, everybody. I knew every name. I can even remember my old phone number. And family, everybody knew everybody, you know. If my dad was going away, someone would put up the kids, sort of thing, you know what I mean? And we used to all go up to the social club that's up there. I'm not going to go up there now. I don't know if it's still there, but they've built, there was like wasteland up there, and they've built on it all. So there's a big estate and everything up there now that never used to be there. And yeah, but yeah, this makes me emotional being here. I haven't been here where I'm standing now for decades. So may as well do it properly. I walked up here in the end. So behind me, that used to be all no man's land. It was all boarded off. You couldn't go in there, but you weren't allowed in there. It was supposed to have mines and all sorts. It was like ex-military, but we used to go in there. We used to go and walk across to the other side where I'm going now. And there behind me is the old community centre. And I don't know if there's still a bar in there, and everyone goes there on a Saturday night for some karaoke or fancy dress, no idea. But that's what we used to do. And then in there, my first kiss, my first snog, my first girlfriend. Great times. Knew everybody. Everybody knew in there. Everybody knew everybody. Every single person in this street knew each other. That's gone. I doubt that's the same now here. It's gone. I don't know. If you live in Stokeway Close, tell me what's the community like? Still got a community centre, so what's the community like? And over there, that's all the no man's land. You can see sort of rooftops. Some of the houses are fucking massive. They're absolutely huge. 3-story mansions that they built on that no man's land. Amazing. Anyway, this is the woodland that we used to escape to as a kid. Penultimate video, promise. I'm in Radford Park. There's some old ruins back there. Radford Lake, it's usually full of swans and ducks and stuff, but there's no in there. It's a bit weird. Go down there, look. You can see, oops, they're underwater. But I don't know what those buildings are. Must be Lake Master. Lake Master. That'd be a fucking good title, wouldn't it? What are you? Lake Master. Forgot there was a bloody sewage works there. Should have smelled it coming, shouldn't I? I don't know how old this is, but I'll say 1700s, I reckon. Normally you'd have a plaque up explaining all this, but there isn't. Another thing I have to Google or someone could put in the comments. And there is Radford Lake. And now, oh, that's seagulls. Fucking things. Yeah, don't mind ducks, don't mind swans. There's a duck over there, but seagulls, where is it? Here he is. See him right there. But seagulls, they should be classed as vermin. Okay, so this is a Radford Park. There's the house, fireplace in it. So, I mean, this is quite a decent sized property if it was just for one family or one person who had a job of managing this lake, if that's what it was for. So probably quite an important person. Okay, last video, because now I'm approaching a place called Arreston. So I'm still about 45-minute walk from home. I've been out for 6 hours, so had enough now. And behind me, on the other side of Radford Lake, there's like this castle style building. It's currently going under some sort of refurbishment, but it's got this archway. So it was always a thing when I was a kid that I was walking through this archway. Don't know why. It's quite just a little thing. It's the simple things in life, and usually they really are free. So anyway, that's my walk from the Barbican to Wembury via Mountbatten, all the way around to Staniscombe, and then to here, Arreston. And I've still got a few more miles to go, but it wouldn't surprise me if this was over 15 miles in the end. So a decent walk, and it wasn't what I planned. And I've still got shitloads of energy. If my feet didn't feel like dropping off, and they don't, but they're going to be on their way in a minute, I could just keep walking. And my belly's getting thinner. So it's all good, yeah? Laters.